a cancer survivor, 27 years. Thank you so much. Are there any other cancer survivors out there? Ah, my fellow conquerors, I honor you. But I will say, a couple of years ago, I had a scare, and I'm not going to go into any detail, but I will say I went in for a procedure. So there I was in this little office, lying on this gurney with one of those hospital gowns that ties in the front, the IV in my arm, the electrodes on my body, and I was about to freak out with anxiety, and I created an immediate attitude shift because I am committed. And it actually prompted a very rock and roll thought, almost a rebellious thought. Because I thought to myself, you know what? I don't have to be here. As a matter of fact, I can rip the IV out of my arm. I can rip the electrodes off my body. I can jump off the gurney. I can escape down the hallway. I can even escape to the front of the hospital into the beautiful Los Angeles sunshine where I live. And then I remembered I was wearing one of those hospital gowns that ties from the front and is open in the back, and I wasn't wearing anything underneath it. So I quickly ruled that out. But the concept is something that I employ in my life all the time, and it's been an absolute game changer because it's true. I don't have to be here. I get to be here. And I was lying on that gurney thinking, I get this amazing doctor. I get to experience state-of-the-art medical science. I get to co-create my healing for myself and for my family. And it turns out this is not merely semantics. I did the research. And a gentleman by the name of Bernard Roth, Stanford professor, actually wrote a book called The Achievement Habit, in which he quantified the fact that our vocabulary absolutely shapes our attitudes, behaviors, and consequences, both positively and negatively. So what I've learned is use your words wisely. But I love this particular example because a have to feels like a chore. Now, do I look like somebody who likes to do chores to you? But with a reframe to a get to, a chore can feel like a choice. Oh, that positions the experience completely differently. You have a completely different perspective and appreciation of the experience. Reframe it, rephrase it. Instead of, I have to take my kids to school, I get to take my kids to school. Instead of, I have to go to work or I have to call this client, I get to call this client. Or one of my personal favorites, instead of, I have to go to the gym, I get to go to the gym. Because I'm a rock and roller. At the very least, we love to have fun. By reframing it to a get to, you just have more fun with everything you do. And you know what? A have to also feels like you are the effect, whereas a get to feels like you are the cause. And I'm sure that all of you would much rather be the cause of what you want than the effect of what you do not want. Do you agree? Okay, so you ready for your call to action? Here's your call to action. For the next 24 hours, heck, you can do it for the rest of your life, but for the next 24 hours, every single time you think of something you have to do, I want you to shift it to a get to. And you can even call each other out while you're on this conference. When somebody says, I have to do something, say, nope. Schulman says, shift it to a get to. And I just want you to notice how it affects your behavior and your consequences. For some of you, it'll be subtle. For others, it'll be an absolute game changer.